Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Courtney and I've been a reseller since 2018. You can find me over on Instagram at magnolia.thrifter. It's been about a week since I uploaded a video, but that is because I was on vacation visiting my parents. I was blessed to grow up on a island in Florida. It is just a tiny island. I think it's like 13 miles long by 2 or 3 miles wide. Amelia Island, when I was growing up, was a very small, it was definitely a vacation spot for a lot of people, especially South Georgia and Central Florida people. But it has over the last, I graduated in 2008 and that's when I moved away. So it's been a hot minute since I've lived there, but it has grown like wildfire. The population must have at least doubled if I had to guess. I don't know. I have no data to base that on, but it just feels like it's double as full as it was when I grew up there. So that comes with a lot of cons, a lot more traffic, but a pro that comes with that is a lot of the people that are moving to the island are wealthy. So for me, that's great because that means the thrift stores and the consignment stores are gold. So I definitely, every time I go home, I try to spend some time going to the thrift stores and consignment stores. I don't spend the entire time there. Obviously, I'm home to visit with my family, so we make a lot of time for that as well. But I do at least try to spend at least, half of a day while I'm there getting some thrifting and some sourcing in. So it's convenient because I drive there, so I have my car, so I can load up on as much as I find and take it back with me without having to worry about, paying to fly a bag or ship it home or anything like that. So even though I was technically on vacation, I did spend a day. My family, my love for thrifting definitely came from my family. Grew up going to yard sales with my dad, and my mom and I have always thrifted together. So every time we go home, we typically end up going to a yard sale or a thrift store and sometimes spending an entire day thrifting. So that's what we did this time. My friend Mila was down with me, and we went out with my mom, went out to lunch, and then hit up two thrift stores and one consignment store. I did get some footage at all 3 locations that we went to, so I can let you guys know what stores they were and what they looked like inside and the kind of items that we were finding at each one. So I'll go ahead and insert some footage from the first store and we will get into the haul. Store, as you can see from the footage, wasn't great. This store is kind of hit or miss for me. I've probably been 3 or 4 times and every time is different. It is a smaller store. It is off the island, not in the area where a lot of the higher end like beach homes and resort homes are, but they do get some good stuff. I think unfortunately the best find that I found at this place was a pair of Birkenstocks, but they ended up being like dry rotted. The glue had dried up and it was coming undone. I think I showed that in the footage, but I did get a small bag of goodies. So I ended up spending $19.66. So whatever, I don't know how many items, it doesn't say how many items I got. So whatever that breaks down to as my average cost of goods, I'll put on the screen here for you. First up was actually a decent find. It is a new with tags Tilly hat. If you can see that. I'll show you guys the tag. So I've sold one of these before that I thrifted, and it does have a good following. This one is the T3 Wanderer. I believe that it is women's and it is a UPF 50. So it doesn't surprise me that I found this down there. This is definitely like an outdoorsy, like fishing style hat. And with, the fort, there's a fort on the island where people do a lot of camping. There's the beach, there's the river. So there's a big outdoor population down there. So that, I wanna say comps were around newer tags around like 45 or so, but I'll put comps on the screen as we go throughout. And it looks like the size on this one is a 7 1/4. So yeah, we'll see how that does. All right, up next is this Nike Golf skirt. Let me see. Actually, it's a skirt. So this is like a very vibrant red orange color. It is new with tags. It retailed for $70.95. Wherever it was sold, it looks like maybe had a membership. It said it was probably a golf course. There's like, feels like 100 golf courses on that tiny island, but it says that member price would have been $56.76. So my guess is if you're a member of the golf course, you got a little discount. But this is Tour Performance Dry Fit. It's a size 12, and Nike can do good. I heard that Nike Golf doesn't make, I don't know if it's like golf equipment it doesn't make anymore or clothing it doesn't make, or both, but I have heard some people talk about the fact that Nike Golf isn't necessarily around a lot anymore, so it can do good. But yeah, this was an excellent condition. They had, this specific store had a like boutique section, and honestly I have no idea like what they take into consideration when deciding what's boutique and what's not, because I found this out in the regular section, and I found like Walmart brands and Target brands and Kohl's brands in the boutique section. So honestly, like I got excited when I heard there was a boutique section, and I was very disappointed when I started going through it. I didn't even finish going through it because it was just not, it wasn't what I consider boutique. So, but I did find a couple things in the regular section. So that was the second piece. I've talked about this brand before. It's just a nice bread and butter piece for me. The brand is Habitat. It's kind of like a artsy, like lag and look brand. And this is a vest, so I figured it'd be good as we are creeping up on fall. The size on this one is a large, which is a great size. Some of their clothes can be oversized as well. So this one actually kind of looks like it could fit an extra large as well, but it is long line. It's like tunic length. And it's almost got this like pebbled texture to it. So I thought that was unique, and prices at this place were so good I couldn't say no to that. This is one of my favorite brands to sell, and I've talked about it a couple times before, but the brand is Clara Sun Woo. So this is an extra small, and I knew the second I like was filtering through the clothing, the second I hit this one, I didn't see the tag, but I knew exactly what it was because I've sold this before. So it's got an open shoulder, which isn't necessarily in style right now, but I think there are some real like followers of this brand, and you know, I don't think they care about style as much. It's more about comfort. This is a red cold shoulder, I'd say 3/4 length sleeve, like tunic length, asymmetrical hem blouse. Clara Sun Woo does good for me. It always sells pretty quickly. Thought I had to sneeze. It doesn't sell for a ton, like anywhere from 35 to 45, but when I'm paying, you know, $5 or less for a piece, it's worth it. I forgot to mention this store, everything, I think it was everything except boutique items were all 25% off. So that ended up working out well. And the last piece that I found is a New Tags soft surroundings piece. And this is a size 2X. This is my size. If it were a different color, I would keep it, but not trying to go for the jaundice look. Cannot pull off yellow. So this is cute. It's kind of like a, what's it called? Monochrome, where it's got the same color on the same color. Anyways, it's got this really pretty floral stitching in it. You know, soft surroundings does great. It's bread and butter. It won't bring in, you know, a fortune, but I guess for new tags and a plus size, I should get somewhere around $35 to $45 for this one. So that was it from the first stop. They were closing early, so they kind of kicked us out. We didn't have time to look through the whole store, so I only found a few things, but a few things is better than no things. Next up, we will jump into the footage from the second place that we went to. I believe it's called The Closet. place that we went to is called The Closet, and it is on the island. It's kind of like the further north end, right smack in the middle of the island. So I found some good things. My dad gave me a heads up that he thought that their prices had increased recently. So I did find that they had, and I typically find good stuff at this place. It's one of my favorite ones to go to each time. But I still did end up finding quite a bit. I've got a bigger bag for this one. The receipt's in there somewhere, so once I come across that, I will show you guys. So I got one pair of shoes. This is a pair of, I always get this wrong. I used to call it Teva, but I've heard on social media or YouTube videos that it's Teva. So whichever that is, I got a pair of those. So I paid up to $10 for these. They're a size 9, but these are in a virtually brand new condition. I mean, I think they were probably worn a few times, but I mean, nowhere at all that I could find. So I think these will be a great flip. These are pretty bread and butter. It looks like, this reminds me of the Body Glove logo. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm sure it's some sort of technology. So those should do great. I don't know if I said it, but those are a size 9. I got one thing for myself. I think it's one thing. Maybe I got more things. I don't remember. But I got these cute pair of H&M sandals. So I got those for me. And somebody asked me like what I do when I'm buying personal items for myself. Like, do I check out with them in the same checkout as my reselling items? And I didn't used to. I used to split it, and sometimes I still do, but typically what I do, if I'm just getting like one item, I will toss it in and check out with my reselling items as well, and I'll just end up taking that piece out so that I have one or however many items I get less when I do the math for average cost of goods. So technically it increases my cost of goods a little bit, but I'm technically getting a personal item for free. So that's kind of how I do it, you know, to each their own. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, please let me know. I just got tired of having to ask people to run 2 separate checkouts for me. So I've just found that this is the easier way, and I technically get a free personal item out of it. So, all right, here's my receipt. So at this store I paid, so I would have paid $102, but my mom had a loyalty card, like one of their punch cards that they give people. And I think you get a punch for every $10 that you get. So she gave me that in one of hers that was full, and that ended up getting me 20% off. So I saved $20.40 and ended up spending $87.31. So whatever that is for my average cost of goods, I will put on the screen. So for the clothing, they did have a $1 rack, and honestly, I looked through some of it and it was nothing that I was interested in, so I got bored and moved on. But when I was on the other side looking at another rack, I spotted this fun print. I'm like a sucker for a lemon print, which is ironic because I hate lemons, but I just think they're so cute. Like the poly mailers that I use sometimes have lemons on them. So I spotted the print and had to check it out. This was on the $1 rack, and it was actually, bless me. It was actually the brand, the shirt by, is it Rochelle Barons? I've sold this one time before for a consignment client. I was looking up comps for her item. Comps were really good, but it didn't end up selling for as much as I expected. I'll put whatever that one sold for up on the screen if I can find it. But this one is so cute. I think that the print will really carry it. It's kind of like an off-shoulder look with a little bit of a bubble sleeve. It's got some cute buttons on the sleeve as well, and it is buttoned down all the way down the front, and I did check all the buttons are there. So I thought this was worth $1, no doubt. So if it sells similar to the last one, I want to say the last one sold for like 30, somewhere around 30. So if I can get that for $1 investment, I'm happy. I apologize for all my sniffling in all my videos. I very clearly have allergies, and for some reason I don't notice it when I'm at the thrift store, but every time I do a haul and I'm going through my clothes from the thrift store, I end up getting sniffly and sneezing. So I don't know what that's about. So I apologize in advance. I'll try to crop out as many sniffles as I can. So up next, this store also has a boutique section in one of the back rooms, and they typically put anything that's like new tags, or if they know of it being a higher end brand, like Lily Pulitzer is huge, obviously huge on the island because it's an island, and Lily Pulitzer is super beachy and floral and vibrant. So there's a lot of that in the consignment stores and the thrift stores. So but they all know what it is. It's obvious, you know, it stands out, and they always price it up like around $30 or so. So there's a lot of that, but they also, you know, have limited knowledge. So if something's new with tags and it's Shein, or it's, you know, Pretty Little Thing or Boohoo or one of those like fast fashion brands, they'll still put it in the boutique section and price it up like $20 to $30. And I'm like, y'all, this stuff doesn't even retail for this much. I mean, I don't tell them that, you know, I want them to make their money, but yeah, it's wild. So, but I always still look because I have found some gems in that section. And this piece is actually a 2-piece set. Let me see if I can find the tag. So I paid $28 for this 2-piece set, and I did look up comps for it before I paid that. The brand is Oscar, and it's definitely a lag and look style. So it's this like oversized, it is plus size. So, you know, it's not that oversized, but it is, you know, this plaid. I think this is like similar to like it's almost like a blazer shirt. Like it's not a blazer and it's not a shirt, somewhere in between. But it came with that top piece and then a pair of matching pants. And these are like super wide leg, like balloon pants. So I did look it up, and comps justified paying the $28. And that was before I even knew I had a 20% off coupon because my mom gave that to me at the end. But yeah, so hopefully that'll do well. All right, so this was an exciting find. This was marked at $12, but it is the new Pilcrow label. And I don't always pick up Pilcrow. It has to be something substantial that'll hold its value for me to pick it up. And I felt like this was. So it is I'd probably say a midi to maxi length, depending on your height. It's this vibrant purple. It's really cute. It's got this washed look. Like if you can see, like it's not a flaw because it's consistent throughout. So it's made to look like, you know, it's been washed a million times. But this was super cute. So, you know, paid about somewhere around $10 for it. And I'll probably, if I had to guess, I'll look up comps and put it on the screen. But if I had to guess, I'll probably get around $40 for that. And Pilcrow, if you're not aware, is sold at Anthropologie. Maybe not always. I don't know if it's sold anywhere else, but I know that it has been sold at Anthropologie. All right, one of my favorite brands to sell is Sundance. It retails for a ton. This was cute. It was just a multicolored blouse. It's got like a, what do they call this? Bell sleeve. I love the colors on these. These are so fun. They've got ties, and it is a size XXL, which is a great size. But this brand is known for doing like really boho pieces. If you can find something that's really substantially embroidered, like a lot of embroidered, it almost gives like a Johnny Was vibe a little bit, if you're familiar with that brand. And anything that's like really embroidered or really floral or really boho, those go for a lot. This, my guess is, would sell somewhere between $25 and $35, which isn't bad. Honestly, only purchased this stuff a week ago, but I already forgot what I got. All right. Up next is another, must have been the same person, another Sundance piece in an XXL. So this is another substantial piece. This is a midi dress. It's got this like paisley print. It's buttoned down the whole front, and it did have the original slip with it, which is a bonus. So that should do great. Probably a little bit more for this one, probably between, it's gonna be a wide range because I haven't done comps on this, but probably like 45 to 65 on that one. I always love finding this brand. Brand is Equipment Femme, and this is the piece that I've told you, or the brand that I've told you guys about, that is known for being 100% silk, and this is no exception. This is 100% silk. It is an extra small, which is unfortunate, but it's slightly oversized. Like, I think because it's an extra small, this is a mini dress, although it would be very, very mini. But it is cute. It's got hearts on it, so it's a novelty print. I think it should do okay. Probably like 35 to 40 on that one, if I had to guess. All right. This is a brand I've never found before, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it, so I picked it up. I paid $8, and the brand is Comfy USA. And normally I stray away from picking up solid black items because I hate photographing solid black items. Like, I have the iPhone 14 Pro, which I think, unless the one's come out recently, is the newest, like, best model, and it has the best camera, and I still struggle with it to get high quality photos of solid black items. Like, with the box lights and everything, it just literally freaks out, doesn't know what to do with itself. So I normally stray away from pieces like this, but I have wanted to try this brand for a while just to see how it does since so many people talk about it. This one was a size medium, and it is really just like a stretch jersey knit, like basic dress. It's probably a midi below the knee, definitely. And it's just kind of like a swing dress. It's loosey-goosey, like something you want to wear running errands or around the house or even for pajamas. But yeah, so I have no experience selling that brand, but we'll see how it does, and I'll put comps on the screen for what it looks like I'm gonna get. So that was it from stop number 2. We'll go ahead and jump into the footage from our third and my favorite stop, which is a very high-end consignment store. In the past, I've gone and I haven't found anything, but I don't think that I've gone and shopped there since I've hit the point in my business where I'm willing to pay up for items. So going this time was a little bit different of an experience than in the past. I think the last time I went, I picked up like a Maeve from Anthropology top that was on the sale rack for like $7, because at that point I like couldn't fathom paying more than thrift store prices. But this time was a little bit different. I went in with a little bit of a different mindset and looked through everything, and you'll see there are some incredible brands. I like when I'm shopping at stores like this, I almost feel, I don't know what manic feels like, but I assume that like the excitement that I feel in these stores when I'm seeing all of these brands that I'm always looking for in the thrift store, seeing them all in one store, like I assume that the feeling that I feel is manic, because I am just like pinging, like moving so fast, and you know, it's just wild. They have some great brands. So anyways, I will show you guys the footage here, and then we'll jump into the last of the haul. at Fifi's, I paid $144.88. And the way that it was set up is they have like the regular racks out in the middle, and then on the walls they have like the select brands for the most part. So designer items, what they consider designer items. There was one section on the wall that had discounted like boutique designer items. They were between 25 and 50% off. So I did end up getting a few things that were on sale, and they have a color tag system. So I want to say that blue was 50% off and brown was 25% off. I don't remember if I got any color tags or not. That Dolce & Gabbana dress though, y'all, when I saw that tag, I didn't even look at the brand tag. I just saw the price tag from the resale store and it said $1,200, and I was like, what is this? So the ladies saw me taking videos and they were fine with me filming in store. And they were like, isn't that wild? They actually, here's some tea. They told me that they have some consignment clients that come in and say that they are married to, you know, a wealthy man. They don't have a job. They're stay-at-home moms or wives or whatever, trophy wives. And no shade on that, like, do your thing, girl. But they said that apparently they bring their clothing in to the consignment store, sometimes even before they're ready to get rid of it, because their husbands have control over the money and they won't give them cash to spend on whatever they please. They have credit cards that they can use on like new clothing and things like that, but like if they wanted to go like take an education class or, you know, and I'm not saying this is all of them, but this is just the tea that the ladies that work there spilled. They said that they'll bring the trophy wives will bring in their designer items and sell them in the consignment store because they get cash back and the husbands don't know about it, and then they can use that to spend on whatever they want. So that's a little bit wild, because I was like, I found a pair of Max Mara pants and it was new with tags, Max Mara pants. They were like $500 retail, and I was like, who brings these straight to the consignment store? Like, who pays this much and doesn't wear them? And that's when they told me that story. So I was like, I mean, do you, boo-boo? There's got to be some pros in there with those cons, but I'm not trying to rely on a man for money. So anyways, that was a massive sidebar. We'll go ahead and jump into the haul. So first up, this was on the regular rack. It wasn't on the boutique rack, but it is so cute. Brand is Sail to Sable, STS. And I want to say this is a brand that's sold on Tuckernuck, which if you're not familiar, I guess if I had to compare Tuckernuck to something, it's like a more mature, but not like frumpy, but it's a more mature website similar to Revolve. Like Revolve is very like form-fitting, bodycon, pencil, cutouts everywhere, that kind of vibe for like people in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s even, if you're into that. But Tuckernuck gives me the vibe of more of like a mom, or like, you know, somebody that wants a little bit more coverage but still wants to be cute. That's kind of the vibe. And most of the brands on Tuckernuck, like this probably, I don't know if it says it on here. Yeah, it did. So this retailed for $248. So they ain't cheap, but they have super cute stuff. And everything that I've ever picked up and sold that was sold on the Tuckernuck website has sold for quite a bit. So this is super cute. Blue and white is always in. I cannot think of a time when it wasn't. So this is a long sleeve dress, and it is, I believe, a maxi. It's got this stunning, I don't know if you guys can see that ribbon detail at the bottom, but this is great. So when I saw this was, like I said, on the regular rack, not on the boutique rack. If that tells you anything, that a $248 dress was not on their boutique rack or their designer rack, that tells you something. So anyways, that should do well. I'll put comps on the screen for what I think I can get for it. And if I didn't already, I'll put the average cost of goods down on the screen here for you guys. So this one was on sale, just the only reason I picked it up. This will not sell for a ton. You'd think it would when you see the name. It's, I don't know if you can read that because it's black on black, but it's Alexander Wang. And this is a really vibrant purple color. This is a fitted top with a little, I don't think you'd consider this peplum because it's not ruffled. I don't know, maybe. Comment below and let me know if you'd consider this peplum, but I think it's just like a little bit of a flare out. So it'll be fitted at the waist, and when you get down to the hips, it'll go out a bit, but it's got this like open, like mesh detail. So it's there in the back, it's on the side here at the waist. So I don't remember what this was cost-wise, size medium, it was too cheap to pass. So I don't think this will bring a lot, maybe like between $30 and $50, but I couldn't find any exact comps when I was in the store. Similar comps made it, you know, told me that it was worth picking up based on how much I paid for it. So the first thing I found when we got there was this Zadig and Voltaire t-shirt. And I recently hauled one for you guys, and I think I said in that haul, like, I don't think I'll get much for this, like maybe $25 to $35. Well, comps actually ended up being like $50. So this was a regular, like non-boutique, non-designer priced item. And of course they took the dang tags off, you know, so they knew what consignment client to charge it back to, or to pay out for it. I don't know exactly what I paid for each piece, but this is just a basic tee with butterflies, so it is a novelty print, but because of those comps that I saw on that last Zadig and Voltaire shirt, I thought this was definitely worth picking up. I want to say this was priced maybe around like $10 or so. Actually, I do remember this was 50% off, so it was the blue tag. So I probably paid, my guess is it probably originally was priced at like 20 or something, because that was like average what the regular pieces were priced at. But 50% off, I want to say I paid around $10 for it. So that will bring my cost of goods down quite a bit. Couple more pieces. So this is a brand I've never tried before, so I'm curious to see how it does, but I have heard, I want to say it's McThriftsy, talk about this, and the brand is Lulu Bee, and this was on the regular dress section. I got this one because it's a size 1X and it's a leopard or cheetah print. I will never be able to tell you the difference between the two. They look identical to me. So whatever that is, and like when I'm doing a listing, I put both words in there because I'm like, I can't be the only person that does not know the difference out there. This is like a knee length, stretchy. It's got like that athletic feel to it, like similar to like an athleta dress or something like that. It almost feels like dry wicking. I forgot. This one was new with tags. So this one is actually UPF 50. Yeah, and it says, stay cool with Lulu Bee. This fabric has a cooling effect. So not surprised that I found this on an island in Florida because it is hot. So it looks like it retailed for $80, and it's the scoop neck tank travel dress. So yeah, I can definitely see somebody like going on a road trip in this because it seems super comfortable. But yeah, so it's a plus size. It's new with tags, it's cheetah / leopard, you know, it ticked all those boxes in my head. I was adding up all those sellable factors and decided that it was worth picking up. So we'll see how that does. Never sold that brand before. Probably my favorite find of the entire day is our last piece here. I was shocked that I found Veronica Beard, and this was in the designer section, but it was only priced at like $45 or something. It's not new with tags or anything, but it's just a solid, like basic tan blazer. And from my experience, the ones that are basic and solid are the ones that actually sell the quickest. So like, as opposed to something that's like floral or, you know, color blocked or super, you know, unique and quirky. This obviously caters to a bigger market. So that's why I decided to pick it up. It does have like a shine to it, almost like it must have some like metallic fabric sewn throughout, but it's just a nice piece. It's got shoulder pads. So I'll probably list this. I don't know. I need to do comps. I know it's going to be well over $100 because I think I told you guys the last one that I sold, it was black, which probably sells better than anything else. But I think that one sold for $336, and that one was new with tags. So maybe $150 to $250 would be my guess for that. But I'll look up comps and see what they're going for. So anyways, that is my haul. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The Fifi's consignment store is always so fun to go in. If I had more time, I would have gone to more thrift stores, but obviously I'm driving 6-ish hours down to visit with my parents, so I don't want to spend the entire time shopping and doing what I normally do when I'm up here. So we did go to the beach one day, which was super nice. I'll insert some footage of my sweet baby Bentley on the, and by baby I mean dog. He's definitely my baby though, like don't get it twisted, but He is 14 years old. I've shown him to you guys before, and you know, we don't know how much longer we have with him, so I'm soaking up every single second I can. So when we were going to the beach, I was like, I don't care what we have to do, we are taking him. So we took him, and then my first baby, my first fur baby, Kira, she's 14 as well, and we took her also, so I'll insert some footage from that too. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. So we are going to jump for my next video into a what's sold video. I know I've been promising you guys that for a while, and I recorded one and hated it. I was tired. I didn't have any energy. I don't know why I even recorded it, but I am going to re-record a what sold video and get that up for you guys next. So if you want to check that out, just make sure you subscribe and click that little bell if you want to be notified when my videos are posted. And if you enjoyed this content, if you don't mind giving the video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.